Hi everyone, welcome to the debut episode of Basement Banter. I'm your host Jeff, along with my co-host Corey Thomas. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good, Jeff.
Doing good. All right. Well, you know, this is a brand new show for us. We're going to start this off in honor of baseball season. We're going to be doing some of our early fantasy baseball picks for catchers and DHs today. But before we get started on that, we definitely are not sponsored today by Gosling's Black Seal Rum, for those sophisticated rum drinkers, including my friend Andy. Little nip. There you go. All right. So this show is a little bit about anything and everything we want to discuss in life. And Corey, you're smelling beautiful, man. I just want to lick you up and down.
All right. All right.
Obviously, we are probably underqualified for this job. The only qualification I got is I got a basement. But before we get started on the fantasy baseball track here, a little background to our fantasy baseball background. We both play in the same fantasy baseball league now. I've been in it for about 6 years. Corey's been in it for 4 or 5. He is
the Jackie Robinson of our league.
Jackie Robinson.
First and only black person.
That's right. A little background to the league, though. The reason we're making our picks by position is our league's a little different. We have 15 teams in the league, and with that, we also do a 5x4 league. And what that means is we have 5 offensive categories, including nose hair, 4 pitching categories. So we're a little bit slanted towards the offensive stint, but our qualifications for positions also means you only have to play one position at the one game at the position in the current year, not in the previous year. So that kind of disagrees with some of the leagues out there. Yeah, Bob, that's right, buddy. So that's why we're going to go position by position, because it'll be a little more all-encompassing across the board. Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Corey here, who's going to talk about catchers.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start with we're going to do some upcoming bounce-back, declining players that we think for this year. And I'm going to give you my top 5 catchers. My up-and-coming catcher is going to be Salvador Perez. I misspoke the other day. Salvador Perez from Kansas City. Good hitter, great against lefties, great against righties. 400 average of runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Great stat right there. A bounce-back catcher, I believe it's going to be Russell Martin for the Yankees. I think now that Montero's gone, he's got nobody looking over. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder this year.
He's hitting in a great lineup as well.
Yeah, he's hitting in a great lineup. He's going to improve on that 237. 18 home runs, 65 RBIs last year. I think he can do better. My declining player is going to be Carlos Ruiz. I hate to do it, Phillies fan, but you know, he's been averaging over 120 games a year for the last 3 years, and his body is just wearing down. I don't see him having a great year this year. Top 5 catchers for me. I have the number 5 spot. I have Alex Avila from Detroit. Having Fielder and Cabrera on that team with him, that's good feeling.
I don't need to write you and your good feelings.
Yeah, I'm telling you. My number 4 catcher is Buster Posey. I know he's coming back from an injury, but he's a steady 300 hitter. I think he's going to drive in some more runs. Hopefully, San Francisco gets people on base for him, and I think they will. And he's my number 4 catcher. Number 3. Carlos Santana. I love that name. Carlos Santana from Cleveland.
One song by Carlos Santana.
All right, Carlos Santana. So he's going to be a number 4 or 5 hitter. He's got pop. He drives in runs. He scores runs.
Proud member of my team last year. 29 home runs last year.
Maria. Carlos Santana. Maria. Okay.
That's late to the party.
My number 2 catcher, Philly killer, Brian McCann from Atlanta. When he's in the 3 position, he's batting .235, 12 home runs, 35 RBIs, .313 on-base percentage. When he's batting 4th, .320 average, 9 homers, 32 RBIs, and a .410 on-base percentage. Got to bat him 4th, Atlanta. Got to bat him 4th.
As long as Chipper Jones is healthy, that's where I'll be hitting.
There you go. Yeah. And my number 1 catcher, the machine himself, Mike Napoli. .319 versus lefties, .320 versus righties, .324 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. The machine, Mike Napoli from Texas. That's my 5.
I thought that was Albert Pujols. Not Machina.
Machina, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm going to send it over to Jeff. Let's see what his 5 are.
My up-and-coming player was one you mentioned in your top 5. I think he was number 5 on your list, which was Alex Avila. Mm-hmm. Nothing to not like about him batting in that lineup, especially when you have Cabrera, Fielder hitting ahead of him. My player in decline, who was not mentioned on your list in any way, shape, or form, was Joe Mauer. And I hate to say it because the guy can flat out hit, line drives, 300 hitter. However, since Target Field has opened, he's A, been injured, and B, he has exactly one more home run at home than Corey and I combined, which means he has.
Well,
Basic math, Corey.
Last year I hit none.
And I hit none, so that means he has one. Bounce back player you also had in your top 5, which is Buster Posey. I tend not to take a risk on too many guys bouncing back from injury. I'll take a late flyer on some guys. This guy's still going to go way early in the draft. My other concern is that ballpark. It's death on right-handed hitters. His name is not Barry Bonds. He's not going to be putting any in McCovey Cove. And he has absolutely nobody hitting around him. But I'll go down my top 5 real quick. Our top 3 are exactly the same. Mike Napoli hitting is my number 1. Brian McCann, you already mentioned, who defines consistency. And number 3 was Carlos Santana. Number 4 for me, and I know I'm going in reverse order here of Corey, I have Miguel Montero of the Diamondbacks. Miguel's hitting in a very solid lineup out in Arizona. Had a great bounce back year last year from his previous year.
It's Arizona, though. It's Arizona.
Yeah, go take a dip in the pool. I love it.
They stink.
I'd expect him to come out hitting 280 this year. He's going to probably close to 20 home runs and 70 RBIs. Our friend coming in number 5 is another guy who doubled his home run output last year for the Baltimore Orioles, is Matt Wieters. He's only 25 years old, and that's one theme you kind of see running through all of our catchers picks here, is young guys who can still hit, still have legs underneath them for the most part. Catching is a very demanding position, as you mentioned with Carlos Ruiz. And I would expect a 275 batting average, somewhere close to 20 home runs and 70 RBIs out of Matt. Again, they have a couple of young players hitting around him, which helps him, unlike Buster Posey. He's got Adam Jones. He's got an established veteran with Nick Markakis.
Yeah.
And the Orioles ballpark tends to be a little more homer-friendly than out in San Francisco. What we also discussed previously with our friend Brian McCann is he just, like you said, he kills the Phillies. We're Phillies fans. It hurts. It's frightening. Mike Napoli, I think, holds on to number 1 by a little bit. I think he's going to come down a little bit off of last year despite hitting in that lineup. It's tough to repeat what he did last year.
I don't know. I can see him doing it.
I still have number 1.
Okay, you're right.
And apologies to our boy Krager, who he's not going to see this unless we send it to him. But Krager is in our fantasy baseball league. The league's been around for over 20 years. He's never won until last year, and we all mocked him last year when he stood up in the draft and said, "This is the pick that's going to win it for me." And we all said, yeah, right. Guess who won the league last year? So congratulations to you, my boy Krager.
He won. Wow.
Well, that's going to wrap up part 1 of this first episode. We're going to come back in a couple minutes, and we're going to talk designated hitters. We've got a couple other things going on.
All right.
All right. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.